You just got a sew-in. It looks gorgeous, but you literally cannot sleep because it hurts so bad. Trust me, girl, I can definitely relate. And lucky for you, I can help, of course. So please stay tuned. Welcome and welcome back. It is Kayla, your favorite beauty blogger, and we are here with Private Label. I know your sewing is too tight and I'm here to help you. So let's get into it. We are going to talk about today sewing hair extensions, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Sewing hair extensions, they are a protective style that can help you grow out your hair while still looking good. It is a tried and true method I've used to grow my hair out whenever I want to start over and try a new look. Who doesn't love a protective style that also allows versatility? There are so many options to choose from when you're getting a sew-in. Sew-ins are great because you can experiment with lengths, textures, and color, but sometimes the install can unfortunately be painful. So in this video, we're going to discuss why exactly sew-ins can be so painful, so don't you worry. We'll also discuss what you can do to prevent the pain during and after the install. But first, I would like to say that a tight sew-in, it should not be dealt with. You should not suck it up, and it does not come with the territory of getting a sew-in. A sew-in that is too tight, it can result in scalp damage and sometimes even hair loss. So this is definitely something that you want to take seriously. Here are 3 indicators that your sew-in is just way too tight. Number 1, your sew-in is too tight if you notice bumps and swelling around your braids. 2, getting a headache due to smiling and laughing can indicate that your hair is just way too tight. 3, you are unable to sleep or you have to take painkillers for the pain. Are you tenderheaded? You've probably heard the phrase tenderheaded used by a friend or someone you know. Or if you're like me, from your mom. But if you haven't, the term tenderheaded, it means exactly what it says. The head is tender and super duper sensitive to pain. Those who are tenderheaded are more sensitive to pain when they're getting their hair done. Even the slightest pulling while detangling can cause extreme discomfort for our tenderheaded friends. Due to this, these people, they may have a hard time getting a sew-in, braids, or any other style that has high tension. In addition, because their scalps are more sensitive, styles that aren't typically painful may be very painful for someone that's considered tenderheaded. While being tenderheaded is somewhat common, sometimes a sew-in can result in a tender scalp, which is something a little different. So let's go over reasons for a tender scalp post-sew-in. Here are 3 reasons for a tender scalp post-sew-in. Number 1, the braid down. The braid down is also known as the foundation of your sew-in, and it is essential for a flawless install. However, the tension from the braids, if done too tightly, it can actually cause discomfort to your scalp. Too tight braids, they can result in swelling or bumps around your scalp, known as tension bumps, and they're usually white. Tension bumps are inflamed hair follicles due to a literal tension on your hair. Number 2, the sew-in. So similar to the braid down, your stylist always wants to ensure that your tracks are super secure. Because the average sew-in is kept for up to 4 to 6 weeks, your stylist will always work to make sure that your style will last. Therefore, they will sew the tracks tightly to avoid them coming out. However, this can be problematic when you're determining whether it's your braids or the track sewn in too tight. We'll discuss more of this later. Number 3, you're not hydrated. And I know this sounds crazy, but I promise you, this is true. A dehydrated scalp, it can stop the production of your natural oils in your scalp and lead to dry and an itchy, inflamed scalp. Unfortunately, adding extensions and subjecting your scalp to tension and pulling, it can aggravate your scalp even more. Unfortunately, this irritation, it can take the situation from bad to even worse. It can cause your dry, itchy scalp to become inflamed and sore to the touch. Speak up. The one thing you can do to avoid this painful experience is to speak up. Unfortunately, sometimes clients hesitate to speak up to tell their stylist when they're feeling pain during their install. Some hairstylists are even heavy-handed and they braid too tight, not even on purpose. By simply speaking up, you can make a huge difference in your hairstyle and most importantly, your scalp health. Your stylist may actually be unaware of the discomfort that you're experiencing. So don't be afraid to speak up. Speak up as soon as possible. Once the service is complete, a stylist will be less inclined to want to take down all of their hard work and redo your hair. So the moment that you're sure that your hair is too tight, please inform your client of your discomfort and ask them to braid with less tension or to even sew with less tension. Beauty is pain. Let's unload this. When I started getting sew-ins often, my stylist tried to create a flat look around my edges, and she would pull so tight at the thread that I would develop white tension bumps. I told my stylist it was too tight around my edges, and when it was all said and done, we figured out that she could actually leave some of my edges out so as to not pull them so tight when she braided. Many people only realize this once it is too late, but over time, extremely tight sew-ins, they can lead to breakage or even worse. You can permanently damage your hair follicles and experience traction alopecia because of just a tight sew-in. Even though now the majority of the focus is on leaving your edges out of a sew-in, the crown area of your scalp can also be damaged when you're wearing hair extensions. I know this may be another question you're having. Will my hair extensions ever stop hurting? To alleviate tension from an improperly installed sew-in, here are a few things that you can do. Number 1, apply an oil. Peppermint oil, tea tree oil, or braid spray are great options to soothe a tender area of the scalp. These oils, they also contain anti-inflammatory properties that can ease irritation and treat any sores that you may have. However, you must remember to use these oils sparingly to avoid any adverse effects. Option number 2, you can apply a steaming towel to your scalp. Moisture is your friend, okay? You can reduce your pain if you can loosen the weave up and adjust your track. Water can help create slippage amongst the extensions and thread so that you can manipulate your hair slightly more. Steam will temporarily soothe your scalp, and I only recommend this method if you don't mind resetting your hair or if you have wavy or curly hair texture. Option number 3, cut some of the threads. I know this may not be your first option or even a thought, but another way to ease the pain of a tight sew-in is to cut off some thread. Be very strategic about this step. I have cut thread and ended up with a few tracks bobby pinned into my braid. You also don't want to cut your hair mistakenly. That could also be very tragic. You should always cut the stitches around the areas with tension and then proceed to pull or feel around the area you cut to ensure that you're cutting the correct piece of thread and not your hair extensions. Or if you're like me, you can ask a friend. Option number 4, go back to your stylist. Sometimes the pain is just so unbearable that you may have to return to your stylist and get your hair redone, taken down, or loosened. Of course, it is best to speak up while your hair is being done the first time, but maybe you didn't realize just how painful your sewing was until you got home, because this too is very common. While it is easier, sometimes more convenient, to correct a painful sew-in while you're still in the chair, if you pay $250 for a style that is unbearable, it is your right to have it corrected professionally for free. Your stylist should know how to loosen a sew-in. So you want to politely explain the problem to them, show them what is going on, and ask what can be done. Trust me, a good stylist will want you to be satisfied. Learn to be painlessly beautiful. Private label extensions has beautiful hair textures in various lengths that we are sure you want to invest in. Investing in this hair, it means you can wear it comfortably, knowing the health of your scalp isn't in jeopardy. So, review these tips and share additional suggestions in the comments below on how you have gotten past an extreme scalp pain. I thank you guys so much for watching. I truly hope that you guys learned some tips on just how to alleviate that scalp pain, okay? Make sure you're never afraid to speak up to your stylist. They're literally here to make sure that you have a beautiful hair experience. So please like, comment, and subscribe. I would love to hear from you all. And you guys already know, I cannot wait to see you guys in the next video. Peace.